Let your name alone be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Once again, I welcome you to our study on the journey of understanding courtship. What your pastor will not teach you about courtship. Like we did say in our previous study, when we studied from Matthew chapter 1, verse 18 and 19, the Bible told us how Joseph was ready to put Mary away secretly in order not to make her a public figure. And we deduce from there that during courtship, that when certain things are discovered, one can decide to back off from the courtship, especially when we have not defrauded each other sexually or otherwise. But in today's episode, we're going to be looking at something very important. The purpose of courtship. Now, one of the purposes of courtship is that it is a period where we should be able to marry our financial pursuit. During courtship, one of the things that you must put into discussion is how do we manage our finance. It should be agreed upon that as we go into the union, how do we go? Are we going to have one purse? Are we going to have one bank account as a joint account together? Or everybody's going to manage their separate resources? You have your own, manage your resources concerning your salary, whatever. Go ahead, manage it. Or we're going to have joint account together. We're going to have one purse. We're going to spend together everything. So it should be discussed, not in the marriage, but during the courtship. So that when we come into the union, we already know what we are set to do. We have already agreed that in the union, all the money should be coming to one account, and then disbursement will be made from that account. So it should be agreed during the courtship. Our feeding, our savings, our investment. This portion should be our saving. This portion should be for investment. This portion should be set aside to assist our parents, to take care of the people who are depending on us and all of that. So all of this should be discussed in the courtship, during the courtship. It's very important we look into that. And then again, it's a period of our vision amalgamation. We should be able to bring our vision together, marry our vision. You know, when we talk about marrying our visions, we're talking about a situation whereby you are coming from a particular religious background, and I am coming from a particular religious background. Let's say, for instance, you are from the Catholic background, and the other person is, let's say, from the Christ Embassy or whatever background, from deeper life background. We should be able to sit together. So, okay, after this wedding, we are going to end up attending this church. This is where we're going to remain. Maybe the church of the man or the woman. Which one are we going to attend? So this should be discussed together, so that it wouldn't look like after the wedding you are forcing me to join your church. No, it should be discussed during the relationship, during the courtship. It's a period where we should be able to marry these things together, that at the end of our marriage, I think it's proper we all join this church, because we are going to be worshiping together, so that our children will grow up and meet us worshiping here. Then if the wife say, no, I think it's better we join this one. So we should be able to look at it together and then know what to do. Again, it's important that during courtship, we should be able to let our partner know. You know, there are people who are city dwellers. But then, maybe as a man, you have that intention that after your marriage, you are going to return back to the village to take over your father's business. Now, this is something we should be able to look at together and say, well, after the marriage, I have the intention. My father said that they want to take over our family business. You know, this and this and this and this is what my father do. And then I expected that after I got married, I am to relocate back to the village. So it's something that we should be able to discuss, so that not when the time comes, you say, God forbid, you didn't tell me you're going to take me to village. God forbid, I can't stay in the village. I can't live in the village. You see, a lot of issues will begin to come out and all of that. It should be something we should agree. Agreed, you know. There are times where the husband and wife comes from different cultural backgrounds. Let's assume maybe the man is from the Yoruba, and then the wife is from the Igbo or the Hausa or the Efik, whichever one. Now, during the courtship, we should be able to agree how should the children be raised, especially when we are not from the same cultural background. Our children, are they going to be Or should we train them on Western culture? Or are we going to educate them majorly on Yoruba? Or we're going to educate them from the Igbo? Because you see, we have seen situations where in a marriage, the man is hustling to ensure that the children knows how to speak Igbo, while the woman is also fighting to see that the children knows how to speak Yoruba. There's confusion everywhere. So this is something that should be agreed upon during the courtship, that as we raise our children, this area should be silent. This area should be brought to light, so that these children wouldn't get confused. No, we are not saying that they won't visit this side. They are going to visit this side, but in this house, we will be teaching them this language for whatsoever reason that should be stated in the courtship. That these are going to be raised on this area. Probably this is where they're going to end up going to, and all of that. Therefore, they should be able to understand the language. But then if it is okay that we're going to educate them from the both language, also it should be discussed. But then they should have nothing to do with our culture. Also, it should be discussed right in the union, so that during the courtship, so that these children should be able to know, okay, well, our children are not going to be raised in this area. There's attention should be paid on this. Attention should be paid on the other area. Again, it's important also to know that during courtship, both should seek to know if they matched medically. This is a major issue, especially when it has to do with religious people. You see, a lot of them believe, well, I have the leading that you are my wife. I have that leading. I prayed. The woman said, well, I actually prayed and I confirmed. Our pastor confirmed it, that you are my wife, you are my husband. Therefore, they silence the medical area. No, during courtship, we should be able to find out our genotypes. Are we matched? Medically, are we fit to go? It should be something that should be confirmed before the marriage is consummated. We should be able to go to the hospital to find out our genotype, find out our blood group, to find out if you are HIV positive or negative. Don't just assume, well, I know the brother is a firebrand. The brother can pray. Man, I know that sister. Before you get to church, it's already in church. People can become HIV positive without committing sexual immorality. So it's important we do all of this confirmation. It's important we find out his genotype. We find out what blood group is he or she. So we should be able to ascertain our medical fitness. Medically, are we really matched? So we shouldn't put it aside because of the fact, probably we say, well, for one reason or the other, pastor have said it, this union came as a result of prophecy. It was when I was doing 3 days dry fasting. That was when I heard your name. So God has taken care of the rest things. We don't need to confirm. It is important. In the midst of hearing God's voice, it's important we confirm these things. Remember, at the end of the day, when the issue starts, most of the time, you are alone to feel the pain. When it's okay, everybody is going to rejoice with you. But when the union goes the other way, you have it all alone to carry. That's why it's important we look at it together and see that the medical side or medical aspect of it is in place. Again, the period of courtship is a period where we agree about the wedding proper. I think this area we have a lot of issues that arises in relationship. It should be a period where we agree on how the wedding should go proper. In other words, we should be able to come to agreement how elaborate the wedding should be. Are we going to do it small? Should it be moderate? Should it be on a low-key wedding? Should it be an elaborate wedding? I'm going to stop here and we continue after this break.